Breaking news. GH1 TV. For say, and Wednesday, 9th July. I stand to be corrected. Yes, NAR. That is a court, High Court. That is a High Court, Accra High Court. That is Accra High Court. Dismisses a queer every year 10 days interim injunction application against EC order to Rera 19 police stations at Akroma North constituency. The breaking news are air trendy oko GH1 TV and say a year Accra High Court and etna de a year Akroma North Rera a year injunction NPP for the coin leading by a queer free. There is an interim injunction, 10 days interim injunction. High Court, Accra High Court, at dismissing and what the substantive question is Akroma North, the rerun will happen. Yes, either NPP like or not. So far as a court at dismissing interim injunction, which will be tomorrow next. I stand to be corrected. Tomorrow next, Friday, any to by election and Jebusian State Tuesday. Interim injunction has been dismissed by Accra High Court today. Stay tuned. My project on screen so King Kain na NTA Mustafa Bandi.
We're able to collate almost all the polling station results in Akroma North, leaving only 3. And therefore, even with respect to a letter that I wrote to the Electoral Commission on the 3rd of June, asking about the update of Akroma North, whereby the Electoral Commission confirmed to the New Patriotic Party that indeed it is left with only 3 polling stations. Again, the Electoral Commission, led by Deputy Commissioner Dr. Boxman, under oath went to Parliament and also confirmed same that for so far as they are aware and so far as they know, it is only left with 3 polling stations at Akroma North. And therefore, it comes as very shocking that the Electoral Commission, based on its own conduct and also based on facts, based on their correspondence with the NPP, their pronouncement in Parliament, and even engagement with political parties when it happened on June 12th, where they maintained their position that it is left with 3 polling stations, will suddenly make a U-turn. Indeed, it is a shame for this country. The inconsistency from the Electoral Commission is a shame. But for us in the New Patriotic Party, we remain resolute, and we know that our candidate, Nana Ekuafri, won the elections with a margin of 414 votes. And this is based on facts and figures. We have not just churned out numbers to the public. And today I will demonstrate to you when we say that she won the election with 414 votes. So we have called you today to provide you with what we refer to as further and better particulars of the press conference I held last week. For you to appreciate where we are coming from as a political party. So ladies and gentlemen, our engagement with you this morning is very simple. That we have our evidence, undeniable evidence, overwhelming evidence to clearly show that we won the Akroma North parliamentary elections. No change. And yesterday, when National Executive Committee met, we said that under no circumstances will we be intimidated. Yes. Under no circumstances will we be coerced to go for a rerun. We will not go for any rerun. The New Patriotic Party will not go for any rerun. We have won the elections. We have won the elections. What we are asking the Electoral Commission is to follow the court directive, to finish the coalition and declare our candidate Ekuafri as the MP for Akroma North. Therefore, Madam Electoral Commission, Madam J. Mensah and the team, please follow the directive of the court, which is complete the collation and declare the winner for Ablekumanov.
Well, so that's the NPP's problem. You told the court you had 3 left. Go and do the 3 and let's finish the matter. And he's also been saying some things in a subsequent interview with Joy News about the Electoral Commission and how they feel about it now.
It's not a question of going to rerun. It's about principle. It's about principle. We must have principle. We must have conviction. So tomorrow you go to elections and you win. And this same body comes to tell you that based on whatever reasons, they think you should go for a rerun.
I mean, Johnson Asiedu Nketia says the Electoral Commission is incompetent. They need to be reset. They are not fit for purpose. You must certainly agree now, considering your grievance with the East Electoral Commission, or you disagree still?
Well, based on what is happening currently,
Serving you and serving your president and the country. And so I'm glad to be here this morning. First of all, from the day one, after December 7, 2024, the NDC have learned from its past. We have always been ready for any election, unless it becomes a party decision that we will not partake in such an election, just as my colleagues in the NPP are doing today. We knew that Ablekumanov used to be a place where the NPP have dominated, but that dominance has faded out, and the NDC took over. We also knew that we had won that seat, but for all intents and purposes, we had confidence in the kind of candidates we selected and changed out for the sake of election 2024 election. A Rabina Obin, for the purposes of that race, is much more competent, much more groomed, prepared for these elections. And it manifested in her campaign. In the midst of the challenges in that constituency, she and her executive acquitted themselves so well that they won that seat. The only difficulty we had was that NPP decided that they will use foul means. They will use other means from what we know to impose a rejected, condemned misfit of a candidate on the people of Ablekumanov, which is their candidate. They knew in their mind that their candidate cannot win that election. After being given appointment and what she has done with it, and the discoveries that came out, the public cannot trust her. You can't present such a person to the Honorable Office of Parliament because she's a questionable character as far as public conversation on trust and service is concerned. That cannot be said of our candidate. Number two, the NPP knew that in CI 127, you could not have any other way to declare an election other than through CI 127. After that election and the massacre that happened, the NPP went and manufactured their own pink sheets, transmitted same in a scanned copy, and said the EC should declare results based on that.
Manufactured.
I'm telling you because the people they purported have signed those pink sheets have come out and said they didn't sign those pink sheets. It's public knowledge. You see, number three, the NPP thinks that they could have used the EC at the time to get them to declare results. So they went to court. And the court instructed the Electoral Commission to go back and finish places where elections results were not declared. Because if you hold an election and results have not been declared, the effect of that is that there have not been an election. Now, here we are. The law stipulated in PI 127 says that the Electoral Commission must rely on carbonated pin sheets where each party is given a duplicate to authenticate and to verify evidentially whatever the EC was going to use to declare results. The EC cannot find that evidence. The EC does not have that evidence. The EC cannot rely on one political party's pin sheet to declare election. So therefore, in effect, we should do a rerun of a certain number of polling stations. We may think that is unfair, but at least the just way to resolve a questionable election dispute, even if it went to court, is whether to validate a result declared or order for a rerun. No court will rely on one-sided pin sheet to declare an election. So we have been on the ground. We are ready with the people of Ablekuma North, whether NPP or NDC. It is not strictly about party. It's about good governance. It's about getting a credible person to represent the people of Ablekuma North. If the NPP believe in their candidate, then they wouldn't do the kind of things they did to that constituency. Plus, what our government has been able to do so far, yielding back confidence in the people of Ghana. Plus, the good relationship and solidarity we have lived as a party with the people in Ablekuma North. The NDC is ready to win that election. And the NPP knows that. They know they won't win that election because even in terms of their own party's organization, they are not ready. They are in opposition. But they are not ready because they are disintegrated. The NPP chairman have run away from post. The NPP general secretary have left their first vice chairman and is using their third vice chairman. The NPP is disintegrated into 6 camps. After reminiscing what Nanado have left, and Nanado's legacy is not a political pride for the NPP. When Baumia says they've contracted hospitals and they've constructed toilets in every part of this country, the people of Ablekuma North cannot see one toilet. When they said they have done development in Ablekuma North, the people of Ablekuma North knew that that was a scam. So the MPP is not ready for a second defeat. That would be an extra vote of no confidence. So they should find a way to blame the MDC. They should find a way to attack their old girlfriend, the EC. Because they've been in love with the EC for 8 years. I don't know what is causing the divorce now. They should find a way to say that the EC is in bed with the NDC. We don't need Jim Mensah and her commission to be in bed with us. On our own strength and with the trust of the people of Ghana and Ablekuma North, we are going to win that seat. We are on the ground campaigning. The leader of the de facto leader of the party, the national chairman, was at Ablekuma North yesterday. All executives are on the ground. That is how serious we take every single election.
It must take loads of confidence for you to walk into a constituency where in 2020 they beat you by over 20,000 votes. Even they are running away from their own strongholds that gives them a gap of 20,000 over you. And yet you are there believing that. What is informing your confidence?
It took us a lot of confidence and hard work to win a government that said under them Ghana is the most developed place, to give them a defeat up to them being downgraded to 37% or 38%. You know, it's hard work. We've worked hard. We've been truthful to the people of Ghana. We've been honest with the people of Ghana. NDC have been in solidarity with the people of Ghana. the leader of our party, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, have stood in solidarity and honesty with the people of Ghana. It is no longer about party color per se. It's about competence. It's about good conscience. It's about focus. And the NDC have done that. Our leader have demonstrated that. Today, it is not a conversation of NDC MPs. Today, Ghanaian business owners would not have to be running to hide their businesses because the NDC is creating an enabling environment for all Ghanaians to prosper. Today, no Ghanaian will go to sleep being worried about being killed because the environment is secured. The country is stable. Yes, we believe that there's no money in the pockets of Ghanaians yet because we are 6 months old in government. But a child that will do well, you will see that child from crawling. It is clear that the legacy of Nanado and his old age gang is a national fraud. It's a stress for this country. It has suffocated the people of this country. It has distressed the people of this country. It has caused others to die. People lost their businesses. People could not speak. People could not go around their normal work. The MPP under Nanado was tribalistic. The MPP under Nanado was vindictive. The MPP under Nanado was destructive. Today, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama have done the opposite. He says he is a president. Ghana will not die. Ghana must develop. Ghana must be a Ghana for every Ghanaian. You think the people don't know that? Tell me something good about the MPP. Today, the MPP is an organization that has an appetite to dissipate, steal, and do everything that destroys the nation's fiber. That is what we know them for. The MPP is that class society of rich men who believe that the poor men must die. The NDC is redistributing comfort and convenience to even the poorest human being on this earth called Ghana. We haven't been able to do all. In the last 8 years, no Ghanaian have sensed what was called price reduction on goods and services in this country. We were on a skyrocketing mood where prices were just going up. But today, at least, transport fares have come down a bit. At least, a bag of rice, the price have come down a bit. At least, a gallon of oil, the price has come down a bit. At least, we all know that under an unprecedented record of performance, within 6 months, look at what the cedi stabilization have been. So there's future in the NDC. There's future in President John Dramani Mahama. There is hope in President John Dramani Mahama. And the people know in Ablekumanov that anything concerning John Dramani Mahama is honesty, is leadership, and is service to the people. They won't make that mistake if Ghanaians have a will and they had an option. The MPP would have been dissolved as a political party because they are no longer fit for purpose of being called a political party. What they have done to this country is unforgivable. What they have done to this country is unforgettable. Their fear is that when they were in power and we had to do a by-election in Ayawasu West Wagon, the manifestation of violence that they did against our people, they are afraid of their own shadows. That is why they are running away from this election. But the NDC will do the opposite to give a very peaceful election atmosphere. After all, if you are in Ablekumanov and you are MPP or you are NDC, you deserve to vote. You vote and go home. Under President Mahama, Violence is not an order of the day. Leadership is what Ghanaians wanted, and they have it. So we are confident. We are participating in every process the Electoral Commission is advancing. They invited us to bring agents for printing of ballot papers. We have represented. They invited us in many of the things they are doing. We've been there. The police are there. The election will be held. After all, when a Jusu by-election came and the NDC decided not to participate, the NPP still went into an election. And even that, they were sharing wheat for the ghetto boys. They were not helping the ghetto boys to recover from that, but they were sharing wheat. These are the kind of people. How can they be development agents? When we came into government, hardly we are fighting drugs so that we save the life of our young people. That is the quality of the NDC.
I see. And let me conclude on this note, because this is the point the NPP made at the press conference. You talked about the pink sheets that they have, the scanned copies. So far, the EC has accepted 18 of those scanned copies. You are running 19. Rerun is in 19 polling stations because of 18 of those scanned copies. They are saying it is inconsistent for you to, in one breath, accept the 18, and in the other breath, say that the 19 are not credible. Do they not have a point, especially when they take the issue on that?
Well, it is not here nor there. Look, the highest degree of disorganized, disgruntled double standards is when the NPP say they won't participate in an election, but will hold a press conference in that constituency. You know, it's because they have weighed their chances and they know there is no way they will win that election. They know. We all deal with security reports. We survey on the people. We know where they will vote. We know they will vote for the NDC. The NPP knows that. The EC, that should even tell you that on the pink sheets that could be validated, all political parties validated same. On the ones that could not be validated, they could not have been validated. And so, when you rerun an election, it gives all parties a level playing field to participate. That is why we rather think that if that is the way to go, the only thing is that parties would have had to organize resources and energy to go back to the field. If the NPP believes that they could win that seat, they should come to the election. It's as simple as that. Press conferences don't win elections. It's a grounds game. It's being honest with the people. We are on the ground. Let the NPP join to the ground if they want to win the election. But they know that they cannot win. There's no way they could win this election. They are acting in bad faith. They do not have the temerity, the reputation, and the character to win the election. They are not organized. Nobody will listen to them. The affliction that the NPP manifested on the people of Ghana in the last 8 years have not soon to be forgotten. So they must find excuses. Trust me, the strength of every political party is the ability to go to elections. And when you live in bad faith with your neighbors, they won't run to you when you are in problem and crisis. We have lived in good faith with the people of Ablekumanov and the people of this country. That is the only reason why the NDC is a hope today. Glory be to His Excellency John Dramani Mahama and his leadership. That brought stability. That rekindled the dying hope of the youth of this country. At least today. The difficulty we have is that every youth in this country believes that President Mahama can give appointments, President Mahama can give them jobs. The story was not same 8 years ago when people were fleeing through the Mediterranean Sea. People were fleeing. If you go to embassies, the long queues of the young people of this country who are willing to pay bribes just to leave their own country. They were destroying businesses and collapsing organizations. That is the NPP's track record. You don't do these barbaric things and think that the people will reward you with votes. It is not possible.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much for speaking to us.
We are most grateful.
Mustafa Agbande is Deputy General Secretary of the National Democratic Congress, joining us. He works with the presidency anyway, but he joined us in his capacity as Deputy General Secretary of the National Democratic Congress. SM.
Yo. Na Mustafa Agbande chiremi se akwada unyia se na obeto car no. Ene onama no bisa bicycle type bo. NPP if you sunche NDC amanyuko ni bae no. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama busumi nsia de konso ntemu ani because says e be a 6 month krodie yenyi general no kran famfim.
Okay.
Nkofo hu se enema pa nam kwan so aye de ben eba at least fan go bo call for me I dey drivers atete wo mo fair ne so she say mo bo aba from emu bia first na metono 120 eba 100 na say am call no woman ne de ma me 75 so ngo so bo enwo ai enso so bo aba from tin kakran o mu se Mustafa Jebe sikane de enyam egu nkrofo mu botum nkrofo ebotum pafu sa se ka bi pafu a wote ase but enkakran Ghana for ebeti de anti no se na Mustafa Agbande de no enti yenton we no na yento aso na se ne yetaka se mi se ene erekukura nim yesi bema na yesi